Indy Mogul.
Two of your favorite things, Disney and Marvel, combined to become one. And it sounds as awesome as when peanut butter and chocolate get together. But will this result in a tasty treat or a gooey mess? Let's find out with a Movie Math special report. When it was announced that Disney had purchased Marvel for $4 billion, it shook the entertainment industry to its very core. Why? Because this deal is so big there is not a corner of all things fun that it won't touch. I'm going to go through each of the main categories with you, and while you enjoy this video, feel free to write below what you'd like to see come out of this deal and what you wouldn't. Now to begin, let's discuss feature films. In the afternoon of the very same day it was announced that Disney had bought Marvel, 20th Century Fox announced it was rebooting its mediocre Fantastic Four franchise. The timing was no accident. Fox was quick to make this announcement because their deal with Marvel states that they will hold on to the rights to make Fantastic Four movies as long as they keep making Fantastic Four movies. It's the same situation with their deal for the X-Men, and all the other studios get to keep their Marvel projects too. So when does Disney get into the Marvel movie business? Well, Paramount's deal is for Marvel's next 5 picks, and with a busy pipeline they should go through that in no time. But Paramount says they expect to be able to renew the deal. However, Disney is already weighing in on Marvel's movies, for instance helping Paramount to decide if Iron Man 2 should be in 3D. Therefore, while it might not be their party, Disney does get a seat at the table. And hey, while you might not be familiar with all 5,000 characters in Marvel's library, you can bet Disney's development department is going through them with a fine-tooth comb as we speak. Now let's take a detour to the heart of this acquisition, merchandising. Over the course of 2009, Disney expects sales of their Disney Princess line to reach $4 billion, which is enough to buy, well, Marvel. In fact, the Disney Princess line is such a hit that over the last few years, it has single-handedly saved Disney's consumer products division. Disney Channel properties like Hannah Montana and the Jonas Brothers don't exactly hurt the bottom line either, but where Disney has continued to struggle is with boys. While Disney had recently tried to build their own in-house boy-centric brand with things like Disney XD, nothing can compare to the Marvel lineup. So very soon expect to see a plethora of Marvel merchandise, which will be pretty awesome since up until now, all that was available were some t-shirts, wall calendars, and collector statues. And while Disney might be limited in which characters they can put on celluloid, they have no such limits when it comes to cotton and plastic. Next up, let's turn our attention to animation. Let's face it, while they've had some solid entries, Marvel has been unable to match DC in the animation department. That's about to change. Pixar's John Lasseter, who now heads up all of Disney Animation, has already met with Marvel and is, quote, very excited. I'll bet we haven't had a great Marvel cartoon since X-Men the Animated Series in the 1990s. While it's unclear if studios like Paramount and Fox need to sign off on any Iron Man or X-Men animated series, my guess is there won't be any big hurdles since Marvel was able to produce Wolverine and the X-Men just last year. But the big question on everyone's mind is will there be Disney-Marvel crossovers? And Wolverine thought he was busy before the buyout. So, speaking of Wolverine, let's see what's going on with publishing. Marvel Comics is one of the 2 big comic book publishers out there alongside DC Comics. What has set the 2 giants apart beforehand was that Marvel was independent while DC Comics is owned by Warner Brothers. Well, now they're in the same boat, and that isn't necessarily a bad thing. Previously, Marvel has had to cancel books that didn't sell right away, whereas DC, with Warner Brothers' deep pockets to back them up, could allow a title time to grow and find an audience. This has resulted in lesser-known properties becoming potential big-screen hits, like the upcoming Jonah Hex, The Losers, and Lobo. So now Marvel will have the opportunity to do the same, and maybe even create a specialty label similar to DC's Vertigo, which produces some of DC's most critically acclaimed books and potential properties. Now, last but certainly not least, let's take a look at theme parks. Hey, wait a minute, doesn't Universal Studios' Islands of Adventure already have an entire Marvel-themed land? It sure does, and the company aggressively issued a statement saying it intends to continue to have a Marvel-themed land. And according to those familiar with Universal's deal with Marvel, that is true. Any characters currently used within Universal Studios are safe. Anyone who's not could soon be appearing at Walt Disney World. And some say Disney might try to buy back the rights to the characters featured at Universal. Plus, for those of you in the Middle East, Marvel has already started to build their own theme park in Dubai. Will Disney take that park over, leave it alone, or shut it down? All I can say is that if Disney builds a Marvel theme park anywhere in the United States, Universal Studios might as well just shut down. So of all the potential conflicts that have been created by this deal, expect the theme park one to get the ugliest. So there you have it, or most of it, as Disney can now also create Marvel-based television series, video games, and internet content like Marvel's brand new motion comics. Overall, we can see that while the deal might be done, it will be a long time before Disney has complete control over all of Marvel. But that's what worries most fans. How much control will Disney exert? Can Disney market an alcoholic superhero? Will Marvel fans and Disney fans be able to peacefully coexist at the theme parks? Disney's acquisition of Pixar might have gone off without a hitch, but that was a much clearer match brand-wise. Plus, Disney had already been distributing and merchandising Pixar's films since day one. But Disney claims it doesn't want to meddle with Marvel, which makes sense because they did buy them to fill a very specific need, which Marvel already fills very well. However, one thing in all of this has become very clear. The world of entertainment, previously spanning many different companies and mediums, is getting smaller every day. But take heart, because as this deal closes, somewhere else in the world a company is just starting that will one day sell for even more. That is the Cinderella fairy tale of capitalism. And personally, I'm a fan, so I remind you that before you complain about what's happening to the U.S. entertainment industry, just think about what's happening to the U.S. automobile industry. Success is complicated, but it beats the hell out of simple, resounding failure. I'm Grace Randolph, and thanks for watching this Movie Math special report.
Subscribe, comment, rate it.